Hi, everybody. I'm Norrin Price, and we're back again with my fellow John Crows. And we are at the Dads and Dating podcast, where we get together as dads and we talk about different topics relating to being in the dating world as a dad.
This is Joe Crow.
Joe Crow, yes, John Crow is not here.
Yeah, John.
So we have had quite a few talks. We've gotten a lot done. Today's topic, I like this topic because I think we're going to get some cuss off from the people. This one is called Dating Then versus Dating Now. So, older gentlemen, I think I'm the youngest one here because I'm in my early 40s. We know that you gentlemen are gentlemen of the cloth of dating. You all want to have picnic, want to have woman, want to have friend, everything. So, what was it like dating then? Let's say 80s, 90s.
Let's clarify. I'm 2 years older than you. I just say it. I'm not that.
In dog years or in human years? I'm kidding. I was up, make up your face now.
No, I listen to him, I say.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Dating then. Let's put a time frame. Let's say 70s and 80s. Were you guys dating in the 80s?
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah.
No.
I
So you were
was.
a 90s, 2000s dating.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about then, the differences then versus now.
You start with your early thing, Joe.
Well, clearly, the influence of social media wasn't present, or even, I should say, not prevalent onto the latter part. So you'd find that if you like a girl, sometimes in primary school, you send over somebody and say, tell her something like her and thing, you write your love notes, your love letter. So those were the formative years. In terms of going out, sometimes it would be a family outing. Sometimes it would be a fair,
Yep.
the school fair. Those were good days.
Coney Park.
Coney Park, right, exactly. Right. You see, we're not far in terms of age.
Right,
Coney
yes,
Park,
right.
Coconut Park.
Coconut Park, yeah.
Right. Those were the letter writing. If she went abroad for the summer,
Pen
every
pal.
minute, you're writing. Pen pal, right. You're writing. And you wait, you go to the post office every minute and say, no, Punsi not send the letter all now. Yeah.
That
was the age of snail mail.
That's a terrible name to
Snail
give.
mail. I country me the grocer.
Okay.
So it was more patience based.
Patience, right. Me have no more patience, I'll be a great doctor now. Whip of patience.
Oh, God.
So snail mail.
God, no, you have to take a drink for that
Snail mail.
one. Oh, that was horrible. Take a
It
drink.
wasn't that bad, right? It was that bad. Work with me.
Yeah, well, there are similarities in terms of letter writing, coercing a friend to really put in a word for you. However, there were other aspects of it that were different in the sense that we usually go to the girls' home when the parents are not there. Right. So when we are
John Crows.
when we were on holiday,
Father John Crowder.
when there were holidays, basically you normally would go to the girls' house. In terms of mannerism, I think we were more courteous as men. We
Courted.
Yeah, we courted the lady. We did everything, open the door, hold the door, all of these things to show that we're a real gentleman. Covering the dog habit, you understand me? Yeah.
Until the dog come out.
Okay, well, the dog wasn't so bad because it was of some sort of pedigree. So
Was no mongrel.
yeah. So that was basically, as what Richie said, there were love letters. There were little things to it where you might buy even a record.
I was a mixtape guy. The amount of cassette mixtape.
Yeah. All of these
was
things,
ridiculous.
just to show basically that you really appreciate
Intent.
and what your intent were. I don't think there's nothing else to it.
Well, we know that times change, people change,
Oh, yes.
society evolves. So let's talk about dating now. Yes, we're doing the dad element of it, but in your later years, gentlemen, dating now, how different is it than your
Wow.
courting
Joe?
days?
I think you should take that one up.
What I've seen in recent times, the advent of social media, our norms are, the younger people's norms are dictated by what they see and experience on social media.
Yeah.
So now if a girl don't get 200 likes on our picture, it doesn't validate her existence. She feels like, oh, I'm not hot enough. I'm not pretty. I'm not. So
But are these
therefore,
the women
if
for
we,
you, though?
no man, I'm speaking.
No, I'm talking
speaking
women for
generally.
you that you've dated. Would they fall? You wouldn't have that.
No man,
young-
no. I'm going to narrow it down to me afterwards. But I'm speaking about the younger generation now, and then yes. So they live for likes, as a term out on the street is. Them live for likes.
Yeah.
So it validates their existence. If their friends don't like a particular thing, it influences
End
them.
of
It's not
the
it's not
world.
what you like. So if you can't adjust yourself and say, look here, that is social media, this is me. That is peer pressure, this is me. My point is, they're easily led. There's so many influences out there.
Yeah.
Apart from social media, there's the cable. You know?
Pop culture,
Pop culture on a whole. In the dance hall, the pop music, everything.
the current.
So easily, so it will. Obviously, it is a socialization. They are socializing agents that will influence how the younger people view persons, view themselves, view their potential dates, their potential partners. That has a tremendous impact on the dating scene.
Does that still
nowadays.
is that applicable
Regarding
to a woman who is, say, late 30s, early 40s, late 40s?
Yeah,
Do
you have cougars.
Theo. Right.
You have a lot of
Right.
cougars, right?
No, but
Yeah.
do those women? Do you think they have that same issue of
Yes.
so driven by social
Personally,
perception?
I know of ladies in their late 30s and 40s who have this social media lifestyle, this pop culture instilled
their
in
age.
them now at their age. Mark, when you see them, they look as young as the teenagers. They want to be hip, they want to be current, they want to be trendy. So they think that, hey, this is the way, those were the days, this is now. Which is an indictment on them. It shows,
Why is it?
I think so, because you cannot,
Isn't it a personal preference?
it
In
is a
terms of-
personal preference, but at the
Okay.
same time, your individuality must not be compromised. It is not what you dictate, it's not what on that side that dictates who I am. You must know how you operate, what you like, what you don't like. I'm not saying that you must notice what's going on over there now. But ultimately, your happiness depends on you, not what you like, not what that entertainer does.
And not what society dictates
So you
neither.
don't make society dictate
Right.
and social media dictate
But
what's
the-
for you. That's why we end up in so many unhappy relationships and situations. Because it was not built on a firm ground, but it built on sand. This sand is a transitional thing, you know. The social media, all of that hype is not substance.
I
It can't
couldn't
last.
tell you about nowadays thing because I'm strictly old school. I just believe say you must court the lady,
Have a good time.
Right.
have a good time, treat her like a woman, whether or not she is a beast or
Right.
she
Spend time with her and know her.
Yes.
Did I ever just say beast?
Yeah, you have some woman that you deal
Yes.
with.
It's okay.
If you not take time to know her, you
Yeah, you
later
can't
on find out
edit
she's a
it.
beast.
But however, edit it. However, some of them behave, they're obnoxious then. They are obnoxious behaviors that, okay, I don't like loud and aggressive women.
Amen.
You understand me? And nowadays, when you meet most of them, them look nice, and then when them open their mouth, hello, is not somebody
Yes.
who you would really want to have that sort of relationship with, because if situation do arises,
Yes. yes.
kind of
our
behavior you're gonna get?
behavior wouldn't be of that where we could go one side, or when we reach home we discuss it. It's
Happy
happening.
Which goes to what you and I were talking about
Yes.
earlier about
Yeah.
it's still a drive for attention that is causing some
Exactly.
behavior.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
that is the other word, I think. That is the other influence. Everybody's looking status, everybody's looking
Wanna be
position,
seen.
everyone to be seen.
Seen, yeah.
So most relationship are dating somebody, well, young, you say? Somebody young?
Young or old.
Okay.
But let's say young in this
To
particular
me,
context.
in my opinion, dating somebody young, you have to be very choosy in terms of determining the type of young person you're going to deal with. They must have a level of maturity and they have the same headspace as you.
You should be able to see it from
You
when
might
it
not,
come down the road.
you might not see it immediately because sometimes there's a performance. Remember now them watching YouTube and
Oh, yeah.
all of these things, them give you a performance. But as I always say, after the novelty is worn, then you know who the real individual is. So you have to be very careful of how you get involved.
And to be fair, we will perform too. As men, sometimes
Yeah,
we
yeah.
perform as well.
I do in the Joe Mannix thing and him something. I go and tell you how it is.
So me stay.
Yeah, I do in the acting thing. I don't get paid for it. You get me?
And sometimes you end up paying for it.
That's the point. So, sometimes really and truly, in my younger days, I prefer the older woman. I go and tell you that. Dating an older woman.
I prefer older women too, personally.
Because I think the level of maturity and them have more understanding. Furthermore, you need somebody who can guide you too in the relationship. I never know everything about love, about relationship, communication. I never know them things. The older woman taught me all of
You
these
grow,
things.
grow together.
Yeah, respect for the woman. Understand what a woman is about. There are certain things I know about a woman. I didn't learn it out of a book or anything like that.
Experience the best
Right.
teacher.
Is the older woman taught me basically most of these things so I could have a better understanding of having a relationship. My grandmother teach me a lot of things in terms of telling me.
Luckily, I mean, if only some people
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
that level of wisdom at their fingertips and listen to it, then I think we'd have a different dating scene than we have now.
One of my grandmother told me that I am not to get married. Okay? She told me not to get married. When I was a youth, and I wonder why she tell me. Now I find out why.
You learn?
Yeah, because you have to know when you make choices, what type of choices you make in life in terms of choosing a partner.
And live with it.
Yeah, and because you're naive most of the times, you're naive to a number of things. So as you go along, there's a wool thrown over your face because sometimes the intentions of the woman is not honorable. Men too, it go both ways, but it's not honorable. So we end up basically you living a life of delusion then, delusion saying that, oh yeah, this is the best thing, this is the right thing. But again, when the novelty wore, then you have the problems. And then you say, well, I picked the wrong thing. So, in essence, you were just saying that here what, before you even make that choice, make sure you know the person.
Know the animal you're with.
Yes.
We're gonna come back because I want to go into advice. So,
However, that was
yeah.
advice. Yeah.
Cool Odyssey. Wednesdays, 5 to 9 p.m.
And Jeffrey.
on Cool 97 FM.
as we just spoke about some of our personal experiences with dating then versus now, because that's the name of the show. But I want to move into tips and advice. Let's say you have a dad who is fresh on the dating scene after a divorce or a long breakup, or not even fresh, he's been at it for a while. Both of you give me one piece of advice for a dad in that situation.
Okay. For a new dad on the scene, I would advise that they stick to the old traditional morals. You know, you look for that. Because on the dating scene now, you find that the values are different. Social media, as I said before, has caused some of the ladies to be looking for things that don't necessarily would be good for a relationship. They're looking for finances. They're looking for, if you date somebody for the first time after a week, after that she'll come up with an imaginary thing and say, you know, some GPS bill won't pay. You know, my water rate
How
won't
come?
pay. Right. How come? Right. And as the song goes, them wicked. We can't deny the fact that because of this current economic dispensation, people have different motives. So, new dads out there, be careful, know what you want, know what you're looking for, be very deliberate in what you say and how you deal with these young ladies. Look for the signs, or it may be a very bad path you're going down in this new age.
That's fair. That's fair.
Me? Well, I only have one thing to say to him. When, for a person who's newly dating, just look for what you really want in life or want out of a relationship. Let it be meaningful. So don't get entrapped in the same thing.
That you're just coming out of.
Right. So I normally say you have to look introspectively and look at what you want. That is what you need to look for. Don't bother go because yeah, you have this level of freedom and this fling and this thing. Look for what you want and go for it. That's what I would tell a newly person who is dating. And find a nice woman. I mean, find something better than the one before.
Well, I've been in it. My advice is going to be first and foremost, figure out, as you said, figure out what you want because
Yeah.
you've been in a relationship, so you're used to being in relationship mode. It's easy to fall back into husbandly, boyfriendly behavior with somebody very fresh because that's just what you've become accustomed to. Do you want to go and have fun and play the field, or do you want to get back into something serious? Figure that out, and then when you've decided, you go hunting because you don't want a case where you've been a husband already, you've been married already, you're dating somebody who has never had necessarily a long-term relationship. You start doing what to you was just typical standard boyfriend behavior. To her, it's like, oh my God, I've never been treated this well by a man. So in her mind, we are moving to next stage, but you're like, no, and I just got out of it. So, and that happened to me. You have to be careful that you keep the lines drawn as best as possible. It's not always easy, but it happens. You have to make sure that what you actually want is what you're putting out, because sometimes, even unconsciously, you put out vibe X, but vibe Y is what they are holding on to.
Just make sure you both of you are the person that you choose is on the same page. There's no utopia in this
But
world.
suppose it's multiple people.
I'm saying the multiplicity is spelling trouble in this time.
But I'm dating. I'm fresh.
Yeah.
I'm not married anymore.
Hello,
I can date multiple
Virgin,
people if
Virgin.
I want.
In the olden days, you could have done that. You see, in this time, the multiplicity of women that you go and date. Furthermore, you might go date somebody who is dating somebody else. You don't know that. But based upon how you coming out of a relationship and the level of hurt that you got, or it never work out with you pushing all of these things, the girl take a liking for that because she's not getting there yet, she have a man, it can be fatal.
Fair enough.
If I can just interject,
Yeah.
regarding dating and older women. Women, it is experts have said that, and we have seen it too, that women will reach their sexual peak in their early to mid 40s. You see the cougar business? Don't let that thing make you have bad decisions because you're so enamored by his physical and his sexual attractiveness.
Sexual prowess.
So and prowess that you make decisions, say, boy, say I put it on good enough, so it's a good prospect. This no, sex is sex, but your compatibility is another thing. How are you compatible emotionally? How in finances stay? Does he meet my emotional needs? Don't settle, quote unquote, don't settle because you've reached a level of financial independence and a certain age now where you can afford what you want. You can.
Or the
So
clock is running out.
you think that the boss has left you in terms of relationships. So now you have everything now. So you grab the first half age, near age,
That's
in his
why the
30s.
same thing I say.
So
yeah,
the
that's-
cougar mentality, be very careful because persons have been known to regret it later on in
Not
life.
cougar alone, but you have the older
Yes,
men
I'm coming to the younger.
who
Right.
take up the younger girls also.
Right, and with the younger ladies now, again, it may seem repetitive, but
Why are you talking about
again,
ladies?
the social media thing, because this if on a man page say, yes, he might drive this and whatnot, the man could have posed up with somebody car. We cannot, well, women and men, but women, you should not allow yourselves to be easily convinced that, yes, the man is that because I see it on his social media page. It's an act.
Richie,
All the world is a stage.
Richie.
So be very careful, younger ladies, as well. And your values. You see, nowadays, Noran, it is hard to survive. As my adopted mother said that she don't know how we younger persons deal with the present age. We just up and down, looking for the dollar, trying to survive. And with this pandemic, it is even worse. So now, as a result, our whole thinking, our whole existence revolves around pushing for the dollar and then the impression that if you dress this way now and you look like you have money, obviously you'll be attractive to a younger lady because just pay my student loan, you know. Me out there in the working world and thing, and me need stability. So this man look that way. Look and examine before you make a decision. It's not everything that you see, it's so you go. You know, be careful.
Well, I would just say my last piece is that women don't look for a father, and the men must understand that sometimes that's what happens, whether older or younger woman. What in any form of dating now, look for somebody who can offer you companionship and who communicates well. That's the bottom line for me.
My advice for women, younger and older, dating a dad who is fresh on the game, listen with more than just your ears. You have to listen with your eyes too. Because the fact is, you might want something, and everything you're doing is informed by your desires. Have you stopped to really and truly assess if this man wants to go that place? Yeah, him come over and we read the Sunday paper on the couch like a US sitcom. But him do it this Sunday, and he might do it next Sunday. But if the Sunday after that him say, no, may I go a road, or I'm not coming over, are you gonna get upset because, oh well, him used to do it? Ask yourself, is this what he wants to do, or is he doing it because it feels good? That's a problem that I think both sexes have sometimes. We have what feels good and we have what's good for us, and sometimes we don't know the difference between the two.
Brethren.
And we gravitate towards what feels good, but even that runs out sometimes.
Communication. That is the critical
Honest
element.
communication.
Yeah, communication. In the way you take it, you have to communicate. You have to communicate your feelings, communicate your dislikes, your likes. And how you say it is very critical. You don't say it in a brusque manner.
Hey,
okay.
Words.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah. But you say it where it's more palatable. You understand?
You could palette it up all you want.
Yeah.
The person may not.
No, you're going
interpret it in the best way.
That's why I'm saying how you present, how you communicate, and to communicate effectively is not shouting or be dogmatic about how you make your
words. We're gonna put dogmatic on the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. How you go about presenting your thing, but be relevant, be simplistic in terms of what you're saying. Make sure the person can understand. And I just think that's it. That's the way to go. Then everything will come after. I just think communication is a critical element.
It forms the house.
Right.
Tuesday night on Cool is Starlight Soul with Roberta Moore, 9 p.m. to midnight.
Tune in every Sunday for the Love Zone with DJ Slim. We're giving you smooth love songs from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Welcome back. Dads on Dating podcast series. We've been talking about dating then versus dating now. And we're going to recap because we're wrapping up. But let's pull it back to the dad element. Now, we've spoken in this series earlier about being a dad. You have to be careful about what you're showing. So, dating then with kids, because you have kids who are grown. How is it different from you dating in the last 10 years?
You know, my kids them would have to tell you that. Because the truth is that, as I said before, in the 70s, we were more courteous. We court the lady. If they understand that. The things that we do then, I don't think it's being done now. For example, as a man, when you're courting a lady, you open the car door for her, you hold the door for her, you pull the chair and all of these things. That's being a gentleman, okay? I don't think, I've seen it many times where I see younger couples go out and
Everybody did a more.
the girls sit down over there and say,
Did your kids meet these women when you were dating back then? Was there an interaction? Was it a good interaction?
most of it was good. Most of it was good in terms of the interaction between them.
So it was
Up till
never a
now,
problem.
up till now,
So,
up till
so
now.
being a dad has
They-
changed how you date.
No, haven't. It haven't. I mean, yeah, I might modify some things because you have to move with the times now. I mean, Yeah,
but it wouldn't necessarily be a complete deviation.
no,
Just a slight.
no. Because you have to still be a model for your kids. You know?
Regardless.
Regardless of what. You still have to show that your son how really and truly must treat
Treat
a
a
woman.
woman.
Right.
And teach your daughters
How to deal with a man.
how to act,
How to deal with
and
a
how
man.
to know how to be treated. by a
Yeah,
man, and
how to deal
treat
with
them.
a man. Yeah, how to deal with a man.
Richie.
Dating then, when I met my son's mother, was approximately, 15 years ago? We did it the traditional way. You know, movies, we go to ATI, when ATI was a real ATI. You
Teen
know,
Jam.
Yeah, no, not Teen Jam. No, not Teen Jam.
You
But
were-
they get the idea, movies and the Coney Park, as I said, and you know, that kind of vibe. The old time way of courting then. We go courting, right?
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
what
so
they call
that
it.
is how I was grown. That is how I dated in those years and so forth. No, I am naturally suspicious. Nora and Ivor, do you know that Google has an app called Photo Search? And I have known of instances where friends of mine, they dated younger. As you know, Nora, gentlemen our age and Ivor age too.
No, put me in it.
All right. Accompany me now, look. Me and Nora and that.
Yes.
we tend to go for the younger ladies. Do you know?
No.
Do you? Well, for me, I'll go for the younger ladies.
No.
Talk for myself. Talk for myself.
I like ladies.
Do you know that friends of mine have said that with Google photo search, they're on dates, and the young lady said, "Look here, you know, I saw you on social media and you caught my interest, and I just got your picture, did Google photo search, and found you on social media, and then that piqued my interest, and that is just how I just fell in love with you." That is superficial.
Yes.
Thank you.
surface.
Very superficial.
surface.
Again, I must say, that is not the acceptable norm for me. So dating now, this is what it has evolved into.
Is it more work?
It
More
is
stress?
superficial, yes, but guess what? I said earlier that 30 and 40-year-old ladies, they will resort to social media to investigate, to get current with what is going on. But there are evils with this because they are caught up in a fantasy. They're caught up in this image of the person that
Idea of the person.
I did, yes, as Ivor said, this utopia. This perfect man now because he look that way. So him look like, say, him would be a good person to me. That is what dating has evolved into now. Instead of personal relationships and getting to know each other,
Surface.
it's WhatsApp, it's on the surface, it's a superficial thing. So dating now is, I'm naturally suspicious when I'm going into a relationship now, when women approach me a certain way, especially if we don't have a history, we never meet before, you know. But you come with this preconceived notion, say, you know, say, me think say you are this and that. I mean, say, did some investigation via the World Wide Web. It is an interesting phenomenon, and I think that we need to be very careful in how we date nowadays, and what is the intention, what is the motive. I'm not saying that if you meet me from that, it can't work, but it's not a solid foundation.
Free. Okay.
I don't see
You were going to say something, Ivan?
Yeah, I was just thinking about, which is not really related to dads and dating, but it is a offshoot, or one aspect of it is sometimes we need to look for unconditional love.
I guess you
When you
can't look
date,
for
when
it.
you're dating,
Well-
it's not easy, but
It's not easy.
Yeah, but unconditional love tends to bring forth more reality than just love because of you can't give me this or you can't give me that. But you love the person. You just love. When you're looking for love, or
You give,
dating,
so you give all this love, and if it
that's
work out, it
unconditional.
work out. If it don't,
it don't
work out,
matter.
it
It
work out.
don't matter. You just love the person. That's the person.
that's
You-
right.
So I think most of the time when you're dating, after you're coming out of a thing, a relationship that was good or bad, whichever, because anything can happen. I mean, God forbid, death or something, and you're looking somebody else. But always strive for unconditional love. I think it's more workable because you learn to appreciate
It's more
the person.
sustainable.
Yeah, and you appreciate the person more because you will understand their flaws and appreciate the flaws. You understand me?
My only advice would be, and not even as advice, I think it's a state of mind that should be employed all the time. Manage your expectations based on what you honestly want and can deal with.
That will be our next topic.
That's
you
the
know.
next.
Because, and I'll tell you why. Because I keep telling people I don't have no expectations in no relationship.
And that's fine. That's fine. And that, but
I don't have no
you know,
expectations.
There's exceptions to every rule. Not everybody might have that
Right.
same mindset.
I don't.
So-
And I think that's a good way to go, I mean, as an advice to some men in terms of dating. Because sometimes we go in with expectations and we come out disappointed. Because we set certain things for ourselves.
Too high.
Yeah, and that is very selfish also. Because when I'm thinking about the other person, I'm just thinking about me. Sorry.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, again. First time this trio is happening, and I really appreciated it. I like to see that we have differing but still very wise
Common,
ways
yeah.
of thinking about how people should go into this dating thing as dads. And I like that we actually give advice to the women too. So I want to thank you guys again. The Dads and Dating podcast series. This episode was Dating Then versus Dating Now. I want to thank my fellow Junkers, Richie Reed, Ivor Smith. I'm Noran Price. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Edson Hollywood, Mr. Spielberg, our technical operator, and any other junkers that may have pitched into the background.
You have young crow over here.
There's a young crow,
yeah.
a small buzzard in the room.
His name is Dre. Let me call him here. Young crow. Very
young, the young buzzard, DJ Dre. Thank you very much.
unsettled. But he hasn't started the thing as yet of having a child and a responsibility. But I can tell you, knowing him from a kid and knowing him for so long, he's very caring. And he has one of the first forte of being a good father.
All right. Well,
He's very caring.
Wow.
that paid announcement was brought to you by.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody. It's been a great show. Thank you, gentlemen, and keep it cool.
Yeah, so we're not low, you know. We're not low, we're not about tape, you know.
We're not about
Your distraction. Your distraction.
20 minutes.